Hello guys, welcome back to another stock market update. So first of all, I want to thank you guys so much for all the likes and comments on the videos. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. But today we are going to talk about the Nasdaq to start off as usual. Then I want to take a look at Bitcoin. And then after that, I want to talk through some positions I am currently holding and why I like those positions. Okay, but to start off, let's look at the Nasdaq. There's really not a whole bunch to talk about here. We broke out of this downtrend. Right now we are trading sideways and we're looking for another move higher. I would look to close out my positions in the Nasdaq. So basically my stop loss would be if we get a big down move with a lot of heavy bear volume. Right now, the volume is light as we just kind of drift higher and higher, so there are no red flags there. Speaking of red flags, let's talk about Bitcoin next. Now, ideally, like what you would like to see out of Bitcoin after this huge drop, you'd like to see a big move higher, then you like to see this retracement, which this retracement was a 618, which is perfect. But then after this pullback, you'd like to see price come and break out from these previous highs and aggressively move higher. That is not what we've seen so far. Bitcoin is kind of trading sideways and it's looking like it's going to drift towards these lows down here. The only saving grace for Bitcoin is if it can continue to trade sideways and then wants to move higher. If it wants to break this low from here and drift closer and closer to the bottom of this wick, that is going to set up for a break of this low, which is going to be a huge bearish signal. So that is what we are still looking out for in Bitcoin. The price targets I talked about a few videos ago, as far as our stop loss and our confirmation area, they remain. Our stop loss or our bearish signal is going to trigger at 30.205, and to the upside, our bullish signal is around 42532. If we break above this level, then Bitcoin has the potential to move back up towards its highs. Now looking at some positions I am currently holding. The first position I want to take a look at is Airbnb. Airbnb had this huge pullback over the last month or so, and it started to form this bottoming pattern, and then we had this huge bull break. Okay, this huge bull break on huge bull volume was a sign to get long. On Friday, we had a bit of a pullback, but things are looking good here for Airbnb. We want to see this continue to bottom. I believe right here, because of we have this bull volume, I believe this low back here of 129.63 is going to be our stop loss level. If Airbnb can hold above that level, then we can see it begin to trend higher. We want to keep an eye out on this area right here, 174. 174 has a huge volume shelf up top, which could be a potential spot for a rejection from there. But you could see this. You could see price get up to 174. You could see a pullback back down to this volume shelf, and then you could see a breakout from there. So basically what I'm trying to say is that this area down here is a great location to buy if you are interested in Airbnb. Next stock I'm looking at is Penn. Penn pretty much did the same thing. It's the exact same setup as Airbnb, pretty much. It had this big pullback over the past month or so, came into this huge volume shelf, and now we are bouncing. If Penn could stay above the 12-period moving average and continue to trend higher, then all things look positive for Penn. Next one is GM. For GM, it made this huge bull flag and then broke out over the past 2 days, and it back tested. Now it looks like it's potentially ready to move higher. I am going to hold GM unless it breaks back in to this bull flag. If it breaks back into this bull flag, that is a failed breakout, and I would look to cut my position. We always need to take a look at Apple. Apple is something I am not interested in at the moment. Apple looks absolutely terrible. It is below these moving averages. It is right at this diagonal support. So it's at a pretty critical level. If Apple loses this level, it's not going to look good. And then if it goes and breaks this low back here, that is not a great sign. And it's also not a great sign for the overall market if that happens. So hopefully Apple can make a reversal, because as we know, if Apple goes down, the market goes down. And if the market goes down, all of these other positions are not going to be looking too hot probably. Next, let's take a look at Microsoft. If we go into a closer time frame, we can see that Microsoft is forming this bull flag here. It attempted to break out on Friday of the bull flag, but it fell back into range. And now we're just waiting to see what happens. A break below this range, this bull flag, would be a bear sign. If we can break out and confirm a new short-term high, then that would be a very bullish sign for Microsoft. Nvidia, I do not have a position on Nvidia, but Nvidia looks great. They announced a stock split, which is just propelling the stock higher and higher. So Nvidia looks great. And then last but not least, the gold miners. The gold miners have been trading sideways for the past 2 weeks or so. And it is attempting to break out. Here we had a failed breakout, retest, and then now we're getting a second breakout, which happened in the after hours here. So we're going to see if we can get a gap up out of this flag, and we could see, we want to see if we can get the miners, the gold miners, running a little hot these next couple of weeks. And if you look at gold, these don't, I mean, you would think gold and the gold miners would correlate more, but they kind of trade differently. But gold has been on fire for the past several weeks, and it looks like there is no stop in sight. We are getting a little overheated on the RSI, but other than that, gold looks great. A bit of an ominous sign on Friday is that we had a huge bounce at the close in the VIX. In the VVIX as well, volatility of volatility had a little bit of green action also. But on the VIX, if we look at the hourly chart, there was a huge spike, just a crazy volatility spike at the end of the day. And that, I believe that didn't really match what took place in the overall market. Yeah, in the overall market, this is what we saw. And for whatever reason, that led to the VIX just raging. So we will keep an eye on that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said at the top of the video, make sure you like, subscribe, comment on the video, and have an awesome Memorial Day and a great week trading. Bye.